You were my bridesmaid at my wedding. You were by my side when I had my miscarriage. And all this time, you were enjoying yourself in his bed. Tay, please forgive me. Sorry, I was weak. No, you weren't weak, Ngozi. You were deliberate. You didn't only take my husband, you took my sacrifice, my career, my dreams. Enjoy it. Enjoy it to the fullest.
My name is Adaze Okonkwo, and I want to tell you my story. Not because I need your pity, but because somewhere out there, a woman is sitting exactly where I once sat, pouring herself into someone else's dream, telling herself it's only temporary. I want her to hear this. I was 28 years old, sitting at a second-hand table by lamplight, grading secondary school notebooks with a red pen. In the corner of that small flat was a stack of my university certificates, first class, accounting, gathering dust like a dream I had agreed to put on hold. I looked at that stack every night, not with bitterness, not then. I told myself, one day, when Emeka's business is standing, it will be my turn. I believed that. With everything in me, I believed that. I should have known that one day is the most dangerous promise a woman can make to herself. Emeka was the kind of man who could make you believe in things, not because he lied, not yet, but because when he spoke about his vision, his whole face lit up. He spread his business plans on our bed that night like a man laying out a map to buried treasure.
Ada, look at this route. Lagos to Kano, then connecting east. If I secure just 2 anchor clients in the first quarter, we are talking serious money.
What's the startup cost looking like?
Realistically, about 1.2 million. But I can manage with 800 if I cut certain things. And the investor Feng, Mr. Badmus?
He wants 30% equity.
That's too much. It's idea.
Then we find another way.
He smiled at me then, that smile that used to make me feel like the most important person in the room.
5 years, Ada. Give me 5 years go, I promise you, we'll have everything.
I know you will.
I closed my eyes and breathed him in. I meant it, every word. I gave him far more than 5 years, and I got nothing he promised. Let me tell you about Ngozi. Ngozi Eze had been my best friend since secondary school. 15 years. She knew the name of the boy who broke my heart in GSS 2. She was my maid of honor. She held my hand at my mother's hospital bed when Mama had malaria that scared us both. She was the kind of friend you thank God for. She arrived that Sunday afternoon the way she always did, without calling, a pot of jollof rice balanced on her hip, laughter already in her mouth before she reached the door.
I know I'm early, but look what I brought. Ngozi, oh my goodness, you made it. Come on in.
She set the pot down and looked around our small flat with her hands on her hips. You people need a proper dining table, or? When the money comes, I said. It's coming soon, she shouted toward the bedroom. Emeka, your wife's best friend has fed you again. You're welcome. We ate together that afternoon, the 3 of us. Ngozi teased Emeka. She prayed loudly over the food. And at some point, she held my hand across the table and looked at me with those warm eyes of hers.
That man loves you to pieces, Ada. You know that, right? I know.
I didn't know then that the person I needed to watch was not Emeka. It was the hand holding mine. The call came on a Tuesday. I was in the staff room when my phone rang. Emeka's voice was controlled, but I knew him. I heard the crack underneath. The shipment fell through. The transporter took the advance and disappeared. Ada, I've lost everything I put in. I stood very still. How much to recover the contract? 800,000. 4 days, or they give it to another company. I breathed. Okay, I said. Ada, I said okay, Emeka. Let me handle it. I hung up before he could ask what I meant by handle it. I spent 3 days quietly. I didn't tell anyone what I was planning. I just thought about it, turned it over, looked at it from every angle. Then I went to a jewelry buyer in Alaba and I laid my grandmother's gold set on his counter. The earrings, the chain, the bracelet. It was the only inheritance I had from her, the only thing she left me when she died. I had worn that set on my wedding day. I held the bracelet for 20 minutes before I let it go. I came home and placed the transfer alert on the table in front of Emeka. 850,000 naira. He stared at it. Then he looked at my bare neck, my bare wrists. No.
Ada, not your grandmother's set.
It's done.
Don't thank me. Don't cry about it.
Just build it. That's all I'm asking.
Build what you said you would build. He held me so tightly that night, like I was the most precious thing he owned. Looking back now, I think that was the problem. He treated me like something he owned, not something he owed. I want you to understand something about sacrifice. It is not dramatic. It does not announce itself. It looks like ordinary mornings. It looked like me waking at 5 every day to pack Emeka's lunch before going to teach all day.
Emeka, your lunch is on the counter. Client folder is on the table.
You're the best.
I know. Now get up.
It looked like tutoring students in the evenings so our rent would be paid when his contracts delayed. It looked like turning down the senior analyst position in Abuja, the one my department head called me about with barely contained excitement.
Adaeze, this firm asked for you by name. First class graduate, your reputation already preceding you. This is your career, my dear.
Thank you, sir. I need a few days to think.
I went home. I told Emeka. He went quiet.
Ada, I need you here. The business is at a critical stage. If you go to Abuja...
I understand.
The next morning, I called my head of department. Sir, I'm grateful, but I won't be able to take it. I never spoke of it again. Not to Emeka, not to Ngozi, not to anyone. I put it away the way you put away something you love too much to look at. Mama came to visit during the August break. She was a small woman with big eyes that saw everything. She didn't say anything for the first 2 days. On the third day, she pulled me into the kitchen while Emeka was outside on a call.
You've lost weight. I'm fine, Mama. Ada, when last did you do something for yourself? Not for this house, not for that man's business. For you.
Mama.
Answer the question.
Closed it. Mama nodded. A woman can water a garden so much she forgets to drink, my daughter. Mama, Emeka is close. The business is growing. Once things stabilize, she repeated slowly, like she was tasting the words and finding them hollow. She looked out the small kitchen window. Her voice went quiet. I pray that what you are holding on to is holding on to you too. I laughed and hugged her. You worry too much. She did not laugh back. I should have listened to her. Mothers always know. The call came on a Thursday afternoon. I stepped into the school corridor to answer. We got it, Ada. Emeka's voice broke immediately. The government contract, 12 million naira. Ada, we got it. I heard him crying on the other end. Happy tears. I had never heard him cry happy tears before. Emeka, my voice came out as a whisper. Emeka, I always knew you could do it. I went back into my classroom and told my students to read chapter 7 quietly. I walked to the back of the room and I cried silently into my handkerchief for the years, for the jewelry, for the job I gave up, for every ordinary morning of sacrifice that had brought us here. This is what we worked for, I thought. Our time is here. I was so happy. I had no idea that what I was feeling was the last innocent moment of my marriage. From that day forward, everything Emeka gained, he carried alone, and everything I had given, he simply forgot. Money changes the temperature of a room. I felt it before I could name it. Emeka started coming home later. His suits got sharper, brands I didn't recognize, dry cleaned and pressed. His phone, once always face up on the table, stayed face down. When it rang in the evenings, he walked outside to answer. One night, I set his dinner down and asked quietly, "Long day?" "Business, Ada. You wouldn't understand the pressure right now." I sat across from him. "Try me." He looked up briefly, then back at his plate. "I'm handling it." I watched him eat. I said nothing more. It's the stress, I told myself. He'll find his balance. That was my gift and my curse. I was always finding explanations. I was so good at protecting him, even from my own suspicions. My neighbor, Mrs. Folake, mentioned it first, casually, kindly. "Your friend Ngozi was here yesterday. She brought food again. Such a good friend." I looked up from hanging laundry. "She came? I didn't know she was coming." "Yes, around 2 o'clock. She and your husband sat outside for a while." She paused. "I just thought you knew." "Of course," I said easily. "She's always checking in." I finished the laundry. I went inside. I sat on the kitchen stool and I breathed. "It's Ngozi," I told myself. "It's just Ngozi. She's been my friend for 15 years. But something in my stomach didn't agree. I ignored it. Looking back, I want to shake the woman I was then. I want to hold her by the shoulders and say, "Your body always knows. Stop explaining it away." But I was not ready. And sometimes we are not ready until the truth has no more patience for our unreadiness.
I lost the baby on a Wednesday afternoon, 4 months along. I called Emeka when it started. He answered in a hushed voice. I could hear the background noise of a meeting room. "Ada, I'm in the middle of something. Is it urgent?" "Is it urgent?" My husband asked me if it was urgent. "I'm bleeding, Emeka." A pause. "Okay, call Ngozi. She'll take you. I'll get on the next available flight." Ngozi came within 20 minutes. She held my hand in the taxi. She stayed through everything. The waiting room, the doctor's quiet words, the empty drive home. She put me to bed. She made tea. She sat beside me in the dark.
I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. I will never let anything happen to you, Ada. Never. I don't know what I'd do without you. You'll never have to find out,
she said. I believed her. I want you to understand that when I tell you this is the part of the story that still hurts the most, not the divorce papers, not the hotel receipts, not even the wedding photos. This moment. Because Ngozi was already seeing my husband when she sat beside me that night. She already knew. She held my hand through my worst moment while carrying my husband's secret in the other hand. Some betrayals don't just break your trust. They make you question every kindness you were ever shown.